Good morning, everyone. So today I'll be doing a reflection about my physical self with self-assessment questionnaires. So without further ado, let's get into it. So number one is, what would I like to change if anything, and why? Well, for me, I would like to change my um, body, not in a bad way, just in a physical way, because I think for me, my body is um, thin. I've always been thin since as long as I can remember, and I've always wanted to gain weight, but um, it's not that I failed, it's just that I don't know why, but I've always wanted to gain weight, but it's kind of hard for me. I've always been thinking that maybe it's just my metabolism is fast, but yeah, maybe that's why. And number two is, what is going on in my life that would facilitate behavior change, inhibit it? What is going on in my life that would facilitate behavior change? Well, right now, I'm here in Cebu to pursue my course. I don't actually live here in Cebu. I actually live in Mindanao, mother's side. My father's side does live here in Cebu, so I guess that's kind of convenient for me being here. And um, me being here in Cebu is what's actually changed me. Like, while I was in Mindanao, I've always observed myself that I was kind of lazy. I mean, I would do minimal stuff like clean the house, feed the dogs, anything else. I wouldn't say I'm too lazy, but maybe on schoolwork wise, when I was in high school, I was lazy. So now that I've moved here in Cebu to pursue my course, I think that's what is facilitating my behavior change. Like, I've become more responsible in terms of schoolworks since high school. That's what I've observed. And I think that that's actually what I need to work more on, because I've observed in high school that I would always procrastinate, and I've promised myself ever since I graduated that I would never do that again in college. So here we are now, and I think it's going great. So number three is, where am I now in my physical activity level? Well, I would say dormant, and by dormant I mean I'm not too active on physical level anymore. Back before, when I was in high school, I would, since um, my home and the school that I would go to is just a, let's say, 30-minute ride, and I well, anyways, back when I was in high school, to my home from my home to going to the school is that it's a biking distance. So I would normally, early in the morning, 6:30 a.m., I would start biking already going to school, and I've always seen it as a physical advantage for me, and it was great that every morning I would wake up so early so that I wouldn't be late in high school, because I would just only go use my bike. I would only just bike, not uh, well, on occasions, if it is like rainy or my bike is flat, I would of course use a motorcycle. But um, yeah, oftentimes I would use a bike. So that was a physical, like a physical advantage for me. And now that I'm here in college, I I don't have my bike anymore, and it's at home. So I would say pretty dormant. My physical level is dormant. Like, I don't exercise much as often as I did when I was in high school. So yeah. Next is, have I ever tried regular exercise before and failed to stick with it? Multiple times. Like, excuse me, multiple times. Like, I remember during 2023, last year, and maybe at the pandemic too, I would go to my room because I am a shy person, and like when somebody catches me working out or exercising, it feels wrong. It feels embarrassing. Like, why do we or I have to feel that way? Why would I be embarrassed of me just exercising? But I do vividly remember last year, or maybe this year, early this year, um, May, I think, or maybe April, that I, I was exercising for at least a week. Like, I was doing push ups, I was doing pull ups, all that regular exercise. And it was 1 week, and I tried to do it for 1 month. But then, of course, I was consistent during that 1 week. Like, it was progressive. I thought to myself that I can do this for 1 month, and then I don't know. I think somehow I stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but it just kind of happened. Maybe it wasn't just for me to do a exercise routine, but still, it would be good, or it would have been great to have a regular exercise routine. But unfortunately, I failed. Anyways, next one is, currently, what do I estimate my potential to stick with an exercise program to be? What do I estimate my potential? I would say kind of mid. Like, my potential is mid because I guess it depends on the exercise program, because um, if it's too intense, maybe I can't do it. But if it's not too intense, I can do it. Normally, I observe myself, or I've come to a realization that mostly I would do things for fun. So if this exercise is not um, graded or anything, if it's purely just for fun, then I would probably be committed to it. I would stick to that exercise program. But if this exercise program would be something that's competitive or something really serious, like it would be let's say, a body competition. So that's why I have to go to an exercise program to compete in a body competition. That's probably not for me. Like, that kind of exercise program would be not for me. So that's why I would say it's kind of mid, in the midline, because it would depend on the exercise program. Next one is, what unmet personal needs am I thinking of attempting to meet? Personal needs? Well, hmm, never really thought of that. My unmet personal needs would be hmm, unmet personal needs. Commitment? I mean, I've always been kind of a committed person. I'm committed to my studies. I don't have a relationship, so. But yeah, I'm committed to my studies, friendships, even watching shows, series, movie series, like, if I start something, I have to finish it. Like, I can't just put it away and start something new. Like, let's say I'm doing this kind of school project, and then I have another school project, but I'm that kind of person that can't start this school project unless I finish this school project. Like, I've started this first, I have to finish this before I start with this one. Because, I mean, if some people are that way, then maybe it's efficient for them. But for me, it's kind of messy. So maybe commitment is what I need in a physical perspective. Like, yes, I said I'm a committed person, but when it comes to a physical perspective, I don't think I can commit myself so much in doing physical activities. So I guess that's what my unmet personal need is. Not needs, maybe just one. So the last one is, excuse me, what is it about my body and mind that I am unhappy with that could be positively affected by exercising regularly? So for me, if we're speaking about the body, then I would say, yeah, I'm thin. And um, I've always had this dream body, but I'm just committed to doing it. But I've had this dream body where it's like not too much of muscles or anything, just like you're physically fit looking, like that's what I think I'm unhappy about my body. It's just that I look too thin to the point where people think, or maybe people think that I'm unhealthy because of how thin I am. But trust me, guys, I am okay. And about my mind is maybe it's the way I overthink too much, my anxiety or something like that is what makes me unhappy. Like I tend to overthink too much, but then again, I can control my emotions and thoughts. If ever my thoughts are like, what if this, what if that, I can limit myself to like, oh, it's only just a thought. I I acknowledge that thought and then let it pass me, because then again, I won't be doing that kind of thought. Like, let's say, what if you can do this? And it's just a thought. Like, acknowledge it, let it go through, and that's it. But yeah, that kind of thing in my mind is what makes me unhappy. With that could be positively affected by exercising regularly. So, I've made it through all of the questions, and I could say that it was really educational for me. I got to learn more about myself, and I got to reflect about myself. So, that's it for all. Thank you.